what's good, you guys? It's Boomer and Jared watching Bali Star, and today we're getting into Patrick C.C., the victims of Bill Burr. You feel me? Now, I just watched his new movie, Old Dads. That shit is hilarious. You feel me? So, that's just my personal take on it. But let's see what Patrick C.C. talking about here, man. Make sure to leave a like, support the video if you enjoy, subscribe if you're new, so that we join up with the all-star gang up in this thing. Let's get straight on into it, man. Let's go.
Bill Burr's comedic persona is the loud, overconfident guy at the end of the bar. He fearlessly voices exactly what is on his mind, whether he is on daytime television or sitting across the table from you. However, Bill cannot be dismissed as some blue-collar loudmouth drunk. He is highly educated and will accurately expose your insecurities. These are some of the people who have been trolled, intimidated, and dismantled by the gab of Bill Burr, starting with Theo, one of the sweetest and most beloved comedians who was robbed of his charm. In 2019, Theo invited Bill to be on his This Past Weekend.
I just recently found out about him like weeks ago. Well, I first seen him when he was doing Kodak Black, when he was interviewing Kodak Black or something. I think he was interviewing somebody black, and it's like, dude, they were just having like just a straight up good time, and I was just like, huh, I like this guy. You feel me? That was like I'll say 3 weeks ago I first saw this guy.
Podcast. At this point in his career, Theo was just starting to become a household name. However, Bill wasn't very familiar with his material nor his fan base, which set the conversation off to a weird start. Theo was a huge fan of Bill, and naturally started picking Bill's brain about the comedy and entertainment industry. So from the beginning, they established a hierarchy where Theo seems like an aspiring comic looking for advice.
I was just like experiencing like a ton of stress, man, burnt out. You know, I've been on the same tour for this hour for almost over a year now.
You gotta toughen up, man.
Yeah, you're right, huh?
Yeah.
What do I do?
Camouflage hat, looking like a backwoods guy, all tough. You can't handle doing your hour again. I mean, come on, man. Suck it up.
Bill probably had a hard time relating to Theo's mental health struggles since he grew up around blue-collar Boston men who worked themselves into an early grave. Then again, this was just harmless ball-busting, but an early sign of what was about to come.
I just think I have a tough time working with other people sometimes, you know? I just think...
Well, I would say get over that. Get over yourself and get over that, because there's a lot of great people in this business, and you're going to miss out. And, I don't know.
No,
you know what?
I
You'll
totally
say your loved ones will save money on the funeral costs because no one's going to go, so there's not going to be too many snacks they got to put together.
You could see Bill was about to be more serious with Theo, but then paused and decided to defer to a silly joke. That wouldn't last.
She'd have a rough day and she'd come in. And
I don't remember the whole show.
I can explain it to you.
Yeah.
I can explain it to
you.
The guy just I don't know what that is. All right.
No, I believe it.
I'm not into it. I don't want to hear it. I got it. Your show. Go ahead.
All right, let's talk about old shows then.
We don't have to.
Patty Duke. What about that?
You made me feel like an asshole, like that was the 15th time I brought it up.
Bill is becoming increasingly agitated with him, but Theo is making a huge mistake here. Theo is known for his airheaded yet poetic thoughts about life. He also speaks exactly what is on his mind, but it feels like the intrusive thoughts of someone with more heart than brains. Theo keeps switching in and out of being serious and being funny, making it difficult for Bill to riff with him. They both can't decide when the other person is making a joke or being serious, and by the end, Theo felt defeated, and Bill could sense it.
What about The Nice Guys? Ah, you got to see that.
Oh, what's The Nice Guys?
No, I don't know. I think you're looking down. You got your jaw out. You got your jaw out. It's very confrontation. I'm feeling like you're not liking my suggestions. You just like you like the Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. This guy's dead to me. He's dead to me.
This was like watching two guys having to hang out because their wives are friends. This is what it looks like when your two cool friends meet for the first time and don't hit it off like you thought. Bill said he had a great time, but fans provided empathy for Theo since they know he is humble and vulnerable. They could tell he was disappointed with himself, and Theo addressed the pod a few days later.
He was Bill Burr to a T. He's brash. He's poignant. He's brash. He's poignant. He's exact. He really is like a NASA, like a rocket, and I'm more like sometimes like Phil Armstrong, You find me just kind of moseying around on the moon, monitoring how I feel.
You see, Bill only gets serious when you make him. Sometimes it's better to just sit back and let him beat you up a little bit, like how Joe Rogan did after Bill absolutely dismantled him.
Want people to walk down the street with a mask on?
Let's not start this, Joe.
Do you, though?
Let's not start this.
But before Rogan gets humbled by Bill, a quick word from our sponsor, Aura. Are you tired of receiving those legally on behalf of having multiples? I personally have a free trial, also linked in the description below. Thanks, Aura.
Okay.
Let's start it.
I don't want to start this. I'm not going to sit here with no medical degree, listening to you with no medical degree, with an American flag behind you, smoking a cigar, acting like we know what's up. I just love how wearing a mask became like this, like soft thing that you were doing, like being courteous. Being courteous. Why is it for bitches? I know it's so stupid.
First of all,
oh God, you're so tough with your open nose and throat. Joe, and your 5 o'clock shadow. This is a man right here.
He often reminds people it's okay to laugh at themselves. Making
5
fun
o'clock
is his
shadow.
way of showing love towards someone. A perfect example of this is Bill's endless jokes towards Colin Cowherd, who hosted a sports radio show on ESPN. Him and Bill are great friends, which is why Colin knows to just laugh when Bill is sending shots his way.
A lot of people think that they're uncomfortable with my my elevation. Are you uncomfortable with it?
No, I just see all of your insecurities.
A giant desk. When guys come up on the couch, I go right after them. Do you respect me for that?
No, I don't. You big dumb desk hide behind your microphone.
And don't even think about asking Bill a dumb question.
You're in your comedy prime right now. Like this is you got about 8 years left.
How do you judge that?
Because your energy level is high. You're nimble. I mean, dude.
And what do you do? I'm not like an athlete. I'm going to blow out an Achilles and I can't write a joke anymore.
Like I said, Colin knows how to laugh it off and remain in good spirits.
Now you cooking him.
Bill is actually the insecure one. Sometimes a harmless question is asked, and Bill is the one who takes it the wrong way.
Bill, are you the head writer on the show, or how do you work on the writers on the show? Because you write your stand-up specials, obviously you're a writer, but you've never really written on a sitcom before. If you go through your credits, you hadn't really been on a show before.
Why'd you have to bring that up? Just right out of the gate, he goes negative. Never really saw you write on anything before, Bill. There was all these other nice things on your IMDb page I could have brought up, but I noticed this one glaring thing that you've never done.
Sure, maybe the interviewer could have rephrased the question to, how different is writing comedy on a show versus on stage? It was pretty clear this guy was not trying to offend him. The same thing can be said about this interviewer.
You're in the Emily Fan Cave hanging out with actor-comedian Bill Burr.
I like that you said actor-comedian.
Well, you're an
I
actor.
usually go comedian-actor. Look, dude, if you saw my IMDb page, you'd definitely know it was comedian-actor. Yeah, it's a quick read.
After all, Bill admits himself that he had a hard time understanding people's intentions throughout his whole life, which usually led to anger or jokes.
Yeah, I mean, that's where he wrote that one movie, Old Dads. It was just like mostly about him as the main character addressing his anger issues. At first, which I didn't see, was like some things, certain outbursts. I was like, I guess if you look at it from a certain type of lens, and yeah, and like you could tell he was really writing about himself as a real person, not just acting as that guy in the movie Old Dads, but it's like really about himself. You know what I'm saying? And they just keep mentioning therapy to him, and it's like, in the end, he gets therapy, and it's like, he still turns out funny as heck in the end. You know what I'm saying? Just in a less outbursty way. You feel me? Homie's still hilarious. You feel me? But yeah, like, I was like, is he really addressing himself as a person, like a guy who just has like a bunch of outbursts? Because like, come on, let's be real. He's from Boston. You feel me? Out there in Boston, bro. You know how it is out there in Boston. You feel me? Like chugging beers and bar fights. You know what I'm saying? Like at every hour of the day. You feel me? It don't matter. You feel me? So it's like, you're gonna expect some wise guys out there. You feel me? And guys that want to joke around a lot, you know what I'm saying? And guys that will just flat out roast you, you know what I'm saying? Just hoping to get, you know what I'm saying? Just hoping that y'all two would catch some hands, you feel me? And Bill Burr's of that ilk, you feel me? So it's like, of course, everything you're going to be saying going to be bold, brash, in your face, and, he hoping a nigga would, you feel me? But that type of humor, you feel me? So I don't know, to say that like just like temper tantrums and like angry outbursts is like, bro, you might as well just call it the whole city for having that shit then. You know, I mean, we all utilize more extreme emotion than other. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not even saying guys and girls are all the same. You know what I'm saying? Like guys are all the same in one emotion and girls are all the same in one emotion. It's like, no, we're all different in every emotion. It's like, you know, some person can express more sadness than like any other emotion. Some person can express more anger than every emotion. Like we all go like we all have let's say bar graph, one of those circular graphs, to where it's like it tells you a certain percentage of more what you are emotionally than this. It's like you're like 75% angry, 5% sad, 5% happy, you know what I'm saying? It's like, you know, and I'm going towards, I could say people are more shy than all the other, whatever you call it. I think that's the emotion. I don't know, but you get what I'm saying. Like we all have an extreme of emotion or characteristic that we express more than others, and that's what makes us us. You feel me? Like that. Like, you know, this is what makes Bill Bill. You feel me? It's like, and to say it's like, no, just angry outbursts and all that stuff. I guess you could. It
was really nice. I would just be like, get away from me.
But I'm just saying again, I don't really see it that way. You know what I'm saying? They, like, you know, there really had to be certain situations where it's like, I think that, you know, that didn't need to be yelled out upon. That made me think, I was like, oh, okay, maybe, you know, I see it that way.
If someone wasn't cool, it's like, oh, that seems familiar. For whatever reason, I don't like being complimented. Well, fortunately for Bill, he didn't have to worry about being complimented on this next one, because he made enemies with the entire city of Philadelphia after they relentlessly booed him during his set. While Bill was developing as a comedian in the 90s and early 2000s, he gained some notoriety on Comedy Central Presents and through regular appearances in The Chappelle Show. But many attribute a large jump in Bill's popularity to the Opie and Anthony radio show, where he's regularly been a guest over the years. In 2006, many Opie and Anthony show regulars were on the Traveling Virus Comedy Tour, such as Tracy Morgan, Bob Saget, Ralphie May, and Patrice O'Neal, to name a few. The tour was very successful, with the second show in the lineup breaking Jay Leno's record for the most tickets sold for a comedy show at New Jersey's PNC Bank Arts Center. However, the third show in Camden, New Jersey, just across the Delaware River from Philadelphia, didn't go nearly as well. The drunk and unruly Philly crowd on a hot afternoon outdoor show set the tone by booing the opening act off stage. They'd continued to behave poorly and on the verge of booing the rest of the night, as those who had yet to perform were dreading their set. Tracy Morgan gave up 7 minutes into a 20-minute set. Bob Saget and Patrice O'Neal did well, but Bill wasn't having it with this crowd. He got defensive on behalf of his comedian friends, which led to an all-out roast session from the beginning.
Oh, f*** all you people. You know what, you f***ing losers? I hope you all f***ing die, and I hope the f***ing Eagles never win the Super Bowl. Go f*** yourselves.
Oh yeah, he wasn't holding back.
Let's talk about heart disease, something you're all gonna f***ing die of, and I'm gonna laugh at your funerals. It's gonna be great. You're all gonna get f***ing cancer, which is fantastic, because all your f***ing heads are shaved anyways. No one's even gonna notice.
If you can believe it, it gets so much worse. Every minute that goes by, he decimates every possible thing about Philadelphia. He says if there was a terrorist attack on Philly, nobody would care.
Rocky is your hero. The whole pride of your city is built around a guy who doesn't even exist.
A man interrupts him from the crowd. Bill responds.
What do you have to say, sir? Never passed the f***ing 8th grade. What brilliant shit are you gonna f***ing tell me, huh? Go back to the dock and go unload some shit. You f***ing warehouse working, weed smoking, disappointment for your mother.
Obviously, most people were offended, but others started to respect his
determination. I don't know. I heard laughing throughout all that, bro. I heard like a little minimal boo throughout that whole laughing. You know what I'm saying? Some people were like, whoa! You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't hear that much booing. But then again, I wasn't there.
To fight an entire crowd of angry people.
7 minutes left! 7 motherfucking minutes left! And I'm doing all f***ing 7!
As the minutes count down, the insults progressively get more bleak, until the end where he says he wishes he had a weapon to use on every single person in the crowd. And in some backwards twist of fate, they loved it, and cheered for him as he quadrupled down on his hatred towards them while walking off stage.
Alright, listen, I'm out of time. You guys were here, man. Thank you very much. All of you go f*** yourselves. in your own ass.
Yeah, go fuck
Bill
yourself. Yeah.
single-handedly destroyed everything the city of Philadelphia loves, and they cheered for him as he left the stage. This rant made national headlines. Bill's fame leveled up immensely, but he claims it didn't help him sell more tickets. It definitely stamped his persona of being an unruly jerk with a short temper that will say literally anything that is on his mind. In retrospect, Bill believes he was unprofessional and threw gas on the Philly crowd fire. He doesn't regret it, but he never wanted people to think that he is just a shock jock with a loud mouth. He spent the next decade proving to the world that he is actually an artistic comedian who is just a tad bit savage at times. And he did his best trying to be sensitive during his interview with Ethan Klein, but eventually he ran out of patience. Ethan Klein is one half of the H3H3 duo with his wife Hila. Ethan developed a reputation on YouTube over the years for being a hilarious reaction channel. He created iconic skits and bits that are worthy of being considered YouTube Hall of Fame. In short, people thought he was funny. But while sitting across from a comic legend on the H3 podcast, Ethan was nervous.
You know what I mean? If you went to whatever Comic-Con of podcasting, would you be nervous?
Yes.
All right. Well, you're
nervous. I'm so neurotic. I'm nervous. I'm nervous right now.
Okay.
I'm very nervous.
I don't think that's going to help you.
Despite this, Ethan remained pretty smooth for the first hour, but he would interrupt Bill a lot.
I mean, you're really.
I mean, he's doing this. I mean, how much? What does that do?
You got this kicked out of you for a while.
So it's OCD.
You're kind of looking. Oh, yours? Yeah. I'm not going to diagnose you. I have no idea.
You could tell Bill was getting increasingly more frustrated when he would be trying to answer a question, then Ethan would just say, right, and try to finish his answer for him. However, things got really awkward when Ethan started pressing a question that Bill did not want to answer.
It seems like you're in love with your daughter, hearing you talk about her on the podcast.
Jesus Christ, well, you're pretty perceptive. You think you care about your own child.
Listen.
You also had a zillion kids, so I mean, yeah.
Really? How many siblings do you have?
I don't know, dude. The internet's too fucking weird to give out all that information.
Oh, you don't even want to say how many because you're afraid that it will
by all means,
compromise
keep
your
talking
privacy.
about it. Is there any way you can cut this out? I'm honest, dude. Like,
seriously?
Yeah, no, dude. There's fucking lunatics out there.
Okay.
Well,
off the air, I'll tell you.
All right. Jeez.
I love how surprised he is. Jeez.
Well, you can mention the amount.
Absolutely crazy people.
Okay.
If someone doesn't want to answer a question, a good podcaster would probably just skip right over it and move on. To give Ethan the benefit of the doubt, he was still pretty new to podcasting. Ethan clearly thought Bill's reasoning for not answering the question was silly, but some people genuinely take their privacy seriously. Ethan saying, geez, comes off extremely childish and will make someone with a short temper blow a fuse. Bill held it together for the most part, but his patience was running out.
When you were getting booed by thousands of people
I was
in Philly.
I was like, when you said my favorite YouTube video, I was like, oh God, not the Philly thing again. And then you did the Sherry's Berries. I was like, I love this podcast. Now I hate you.
Oh no.
I love it. What can I do? I love that.
I'm joking. Okay, let's do it.
But do you?
No,
I'm not gonna ask you.
Were bullied. Have you been booed before?
You've talked about this a lot.
Probably more than the grape lady.
I didn't realize.
No, but go ahead. Let's do it.
Well,
let's
now,
do it.
frankly,
I like making you uncomfortable.
Again, this subject was something Bill did not want to talk about, and when he called Ethan out on it, Ethan got defensive. Nevertheless, Bill talked about the Philly incident, and he wasn't happy about it.
Well, I love that moment. I love everything you do. The great.
This is how you turn it around. What made you uncomfortable? Now you're fucking sitting there complimenting.
I almost made it through without making an ass of myself. I got so close.
What are you talking about? I had a great time.
I did too. I really did.
I hope you did. I'm worried about you.
I did. I'm playing it up. I'm playing it up.
All right.
But I'm trying to be funny, but...
This was just an hour of Bill Burr shattering Ethan's ego.
Nah, I'm looking over the mic like, hey...
This situation was very similar to the Theo Vaughn episode. On the surface, these awkward podcasts with Ethan and Theo seem harmless. Bill is just being himself and ends both pods saying he had a great time. But it negatively affected Ethan more than you'd imagine. Many people called Ethan too sensitive.
And after that episode with Bill Burr, I came home, and that's when I started taking antidepressants, and I went to therapy. Wow. It was soul-crushing. It felt like a rock bottom for me, because I was having a hard time with the podcast and interviews in general, and that for me was just kind of like the culmination of a lot of stress.
And that this was a reality check considering all the people he had made fun of over the years. But Ethan had Bill back 1 year later, and it went great. However, there was one time where it seemed like Bill was the one who was genuinely uncomfortable around an interviewer. A small production called Southside Steve TV on 100.5 Rock Radio interviewed Bill in 2008. Bill was immediately put off by the man's weird style and country attire, sizing him up immediately. Steve made a critical error, asking a comedian to tell a joke during an interview.
So I figure I'll toss you a mic and you go. And I'm going to do stand-up in front of 9 people in a radio station? No, I'm not doing that. Well, you're taking the fun out of Southside Steve TV. I think, how about I give you $5 and I want to watch you line dance and I'm a racist. I don't know how to line dance, dude. Okay.
It's hard to tell whether Southside Steve is just a character or if he actually is just obnoxious and clueless.
Okay. Are you a racist? No, I'm not a racist.
But Bill always makes sure to get a few jabs in.
You know what he looks like? He looks like the first guy who gets his ass kicked in a Steven Seagal movie.
Bill jokingly said that this was the worst interview he has ever done. And in true Bill fashion, he did an interview years later and bonded with the man.
He makes it look professional.
Last video we did, a lot of people thought that I was seriously upset with you.
No.
At least on YouTube. I can't believe that there's morons on YouTube that didn't believe that I was having a good time.
You think that we're not friends? You think we don't walk away from this and hug it out? I like this guy.
Just because he has a NASCAR accent and I sound like some prick from Boston,
doesn't
mean we can't find a common ground.
Yet despite all of Bill's roasts, jokes, laughing at people, he hates when people make fun of comedians. Kill Tony is a live comedy show that takes place every week in Austin, Texas. The show is hosted by comedians Tony Hinchcliffe and Brian Redband, who invite a celebrity guest, which is typically famous comedians, to join their panel. The premise of the show is simple. Invite aspiring comedians on stage to do a 1-minute set, then roast them for how bad they are in front of a live crowd. For some people, it's their first time doing comedy. Others have been doing it for a few years. And as you can imagine...
If it's your first time doing comedy, why would you... Hey, confidence had to be shooting through the roof at that
Most
time.
of these sets are boring, unfunny, lacking structure, and result in awkward, loud silences from the crowd. Everyone participating in the show understands the structure, and they look at it as constructive criticism for the comedian. Theoretically, it will make them better and let them develop thicker skin. However, when Bill came on the show, he wasn't familiar with the format, and after the first guest, he hated it.
Just compliment someone, put it in the context of a joke, and an idiot will make a fool of himself.
Wait, what? What was the joke?
Just compliment someone, put it in the context of a joke, and an idiot will make a fool of himself. Sorry. Ooh.
Sorry.
How much time do I have left, Sam?
Oh, it's a really casual set for you. Maybe not.
You would have picked one guy, you would have done that, we were shitting on him, he thought it would work, it didn't work.
Yeah.
Fuck, this is fucking brutal. Is this going to be an hour of this? I don't want to do this to people. It's fucking horrible. Nobody can be funny in a fucking minute. It's
Oh,
stupid.
yeah. Oh, no, it happens.
Fucking 2 seconds.
Oh, it happens a lot. Jesse just took a real
fuck this. You don't even... Fuck this.
Hearing that from Bill Burr, though, it was like, yo, that should really, like, boost your confidence right there. Some of y'all just got to go on a good night, man. Some of y'all should, first-timers perform when Bill Burr is there, and you will be the next star, bro. That is like a cosign right there.
You're fine.
Keep doing it. Keep doing what you're doing.
Bill quickly tried to console the guy and shifted the negativity and jokes towards Tony.
There's one more, and then I'm out. Alright? There's another one, me, just to be fucking mean. I'm not doing this for fucking... Trying to bring it up here.
I love it. Jesse, you did so bad, one of our guests is about to quit. I don't know what else to tell you.
Oh, if there's a negative lining, Tony will find it. There it is, right between the ray of sunshine. There's that little nugget of negativity. You fucking... smarmy fucking...
Then Bill was trying to give genuine advice to the comics.
I would just say, just slow down a little bit.
Okay.
Just slow down a little bit, and just the more you do your jokes, the more they'll come off natural. I would just slow down a little bit.
Okay.
That's it. It's not a threat. It's just...
But when one of the aspiring comics actually had a good set, Bill decided to give him a few jabs.
Like, what's the government...
This dude's a fucking psycho, man. This guy is going to get his own show, and he's going to be a lunatic. Like, he has no remorse, no guilt.
On some, like, what's that one show on Adult Swim? Tim and Eric-ish, or Eric Andre or something.
No fucking responsibility for your own actions. You're a fucking dirtbag, man.
For the next hour, Bill barely said anything. You could tell he didn't like the format and just kind of sat painstakingly through the entire show. Now 7 years later, Kill Tony is at its peak. They are more popular than ever and have had a broad range of massive celebrities come on, yet Bill Burr never returned. Although at times he is aggressive, intimidating, and quick to reveal uncomfortable truths, his jokes are a sign of showing love. He's actually a sensitive guy who just wants people to be the best version of themselves.
Nah, that's why Bill Burr will be amongst the goats to me, bro. He's up there with Dave Chappelle. He is. No, for real, man. Like, dude, I always crack up before he even cracks a joke. You feel me? Because, like, I already know whatever this guy is going to be, whatever this guy says is going to be real. And it's going to be painstakingly so real. It's just funny. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you know, one of those things that happen to you in life, you know what I'm saying, that happened to you throughout a day that, like, you know, you did not expect. And it's like, you know, like, or something that just didn't go for the best. And it's like, when you come back home, you just think about it and you just laugh. It's like, I can't believe that happened. Like, he has those type of jokes, you feel me, that are so painstakingly real that it's like, it's like you laugh at it. Or it's like one of those things that's like, you know, something happened that, you know, you're mad at for a long time, but like a week later, you know, you can laugh at it now. You know what I'm saying? It's one of those. And it's like, again, from where he comes from, it's like, dude, that's the environment you're in. So it's like, that's the attitude you gotta have to survive in that environment. Survival of the fittest, you know what I'm saying? It's like adaptation. So does, you know, just say that's outright temper tantrums. Okay, yes, I guess for more than others, but it's like, you know, when you're in that environment, it can breed that type of like emotion or characteristic as well. You know what I'm saying? So it's, yeah, I guess it could take therapy. So it's like, I'm not opposed to it, but it's like, you know, that's just what it was. Like, I never saw it that way because like I saw Boston as that type of like environment. So it's like, you know, I understood it from, you know, being from that environment, you feel me? So I never really saw it as like temper tantrums, or not temper tantrums, like angry outbursts and stuff, you know what I'm saying? I never really saw it as that because like that's just how they are, you know what I'm saying? And yeah, it doesn't really take them like away from the fact that like, yo, he's a genuine guy that like, you know, he tell you something really genuine. Again, make it seem like, you know what I'm saying, he's roasting you, so that way, you know, you really get the picture, you know what I'm saying? It's like, dude, when like that's when you're getting roasted, and I mean roasted really hits you to your core, to where you cannot forget the time that you got roasted, you know what I'm saying? The time that you got called this by freaking Keith Stanfield or something from the 8th grade, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, even like, you know, wimps remember stuff that bullies have called them from like back in middle school, you know what I'm saying? Or, you know, once they incur that bully again, which might not be that bully anymore when they're older, like, you know, they see him and they, you know, they instantly remember, you know, what that bully called them or something, you feel me? So it's like, you know, he's genuine with it, but like he'll tell you in a way that you won't forget it. You know what I'm saying? And like, you know, I could tell it's like that, you know what I'm saying? And yeah, Bill Burr, everybody. But y'all let me know your thoughts about down in the comment section down below. You already know it's Boomer and you're watching Bali Star. Make sure to leave a like, support the video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you're new. So how we join up with the all-star gang up in this thing. And yeah, bro, I'm going to catch y'all in the next one. Woo, Bill Burr. Yeah.